Hello, Dan Dolly here. So I just want to give you a review of this machine real quick. So we have three different clamps, like I said on the phone, and they're marked PO1, PO2, and then PO3, and I'll show you why they're marked that way in just a little bit. So the PO1, basically, it's your for your 1-inch webbing, and that's just a short box X. Your PO2 is also for your 1-inch webbing. That's got a little longer rectangular pattern on there. And then your PO3 is going to be for your 1.5-inch webbing. So since I have the PO2 on here now, I'll go ahead and do a demo real quick with that particular clamp on the 1-inch webbing, and then we'll go from there. So when you turn the machine on, and the switch is going to be here on the right side, like that, you'll see it light up, and then the control panel is going to go through its startup process, and then we're ready to go. And you'll see then the screen right now, it's called what I call a purple screen. So here is when you add your quick icons of patterns. Quick icons meaning PO1, PO2, PO3. That way you don't have to go over here, search for the pattern number, click enter and all that. So I'll put, let me X that out. So I'll put everything in the P files. So PO1, PO2, PO3. Right now, like I said, I have PO2 right there. So no matter where you are in the screen, if you push PO2, it's going to go to that purple screen. That means this pattern is about ready to go. So what you want to do, that icon right there with the blue icon with the white sewing machine, you're going to push that one, okay, and the machine will automatically set itself with that particular pattern for your 1-inch webbing that's got a little longer box X on there. Your tension on this machine is going to be digital tension. So right there, you don't have a plastic knob that you can turn more or less. What you have is digital tension. The tension is going to show you a value right here. So with your particular thread, I found that tension at 100 should be the ideal one. If you ever wanted to change that, you'd click on that icon and it'll show you right here. For less tension, let's say if you're using Tech 70 thread, you can go to like 80 on here, and then you'd click enter. But for right now, we're going to leave it at 100. So let me X this again. And to get other things that you got on the screen, you push the X, usually found on the top right corner. Okay, another thing I want to show you is the speed. So right now, since you do have a little thicker thread with a little thicker webbing, I put it at about 1000, comfortable to about 800, maybe to 1200. I wouldn't go any faster than that, just with the nature of the webbing that you have. So I would say that speed right there would be okay. If you ever do want to change the speed, that dot right there and dot to the right. So if you wanted to go a lower speed, and you see that value change there, 800, 700, 600, and if we push this dot on the right side, we're going to go up. So let's leave it at 1000. What it's going to show you here, that's your PO2 quick icon. That's the actual program number, that when I make the program that says number 121, it gives you the dimensions. Everything on these machines is in millimeters. So you'll have 44 mil by 18 something mil, and then the X value is 100%, Y value is 100%. You can change that. What else do we have on here? Right here, it'll show you the number of stitches. So we got 84 stitches in this particular pattern. So let me go ahead and pause this and we'll do a sew off. And then I want to do this with one hand, so hopefully it'll be all right. But each clamp's got a little slot right here. And there's hang on. Air compressor just kicked in, so I'll wait for it to stop. But I was going to show you each clamp on the back side of it. Kind of hard to see, but it's got a little stop on there. See that thing sticking out on the back of the opening in the clamp? So that's going to be your back stop. And then you're going to have a slot that backstop is going to go right through here. So I'm just going to take this webbing, and I'm not using buckles right now. I'm doing it just solo on the webbing. So you'd basically put that all the way to the back, and then you have a two-stage pedal. So when you push lightly, it'll only close the clamp down, and if you push all the way, it's going to start sewing. But usually what I like to do is put it on there, make sure you have it aligned right, and you're going to click lightly. See, it goes down. When you let off of it, it'll go back up. So all the way to the backstop, push lightly, and then when you're happy with everything, like so, click down on the pedal even more, and we'll start sewing. Okay, it's got automatic thread cutter, and that's that pattern right there. Now, like I said, we can do it again. Oh, let me pull it out a little more so I'm not overrunning that other stitch, even though it wouldn't be a bad thing to overrun it. Like that. And there it is. That's the front side, and then that's going to be your back side. You might have to trim a little bit over here. That's the thread that it catches, and we can't really get away from that, but you're just going to have to trim that thread over there, because that's your top thread that gets caught a little bit, and then the bottom thread that gets caught a little bit. And all tackers do the same thing. So there's really not much that you can do with that. Just trim it after you're done. We'll do it again. And there it is. So when you're done with this one, we need to change the clamps to do other patterns. What you're going to have to do is, the clamp consists of two pieces. Your top clamp right here, and then what's called the bottom plate right here. The top clamp is held by 4 Allen screws right there. Those are the feet that hold the clamp in place, and those are 3 millimeters. And you should have in the drawer here, I'm pretty sure, yep, there's a set of Allen wrenches here, but I'm pretty sure you have all over the place where you were at, you probably got a bunch of them. But anyways, that comes with it. For the bottom plate, you're going to have 1 Allen bolt right there, and I think that's about a 6 mil. Maybe 1/4 inch, but close enough, 6 mil. But that's included in there too. So basically, you'd undo these, and then you'd undo that, take this off, and then put in the other clamp in there. So while I want to do that with the machine on, it's better to go ahead and turn it off, because when you try to get to these little screws right there, it'll be better if you can move this whole thing to the right side, undo those screws, put it to the left side, undo those screws, and then, because right now when the machine is on, basically the motors are locked. These are stepping motors, so they're locked in place. So we'll go ahead and turn it off right there. And normally you have the air on the bottom there, and I would unhook that air then, because right now if you try to move any of these feet, they will not go up because the air is putting pressure on that. So you want everything basically loose, and where you can move it by hand. All right, so I did not go through the minutia getting those bolts out and everything changed on the video, but like I said, 4 bolts over here, and then 1 bolt over there then, and that's going to do it. Everything comes off. So I'll put the new clamp on there, and that's going to be for your 1-inch webbing again, but a short pattern. So once I have everything done, and by the way, just want to let you know, the top clamp is going to be very stationary. So once you put those bolts on there, this one's going to stay where it is. The bottom plate, it's going to have some play. You can go maybe up and down, left and right with it, but what we want to have is basically completely open area here where you're not seeing that bottom plate sticking out either this way or that way or left or right. So make sure you have, a pretty open field there. Because if the bottom plate is misplaced or too far forward or too far backwards, that needle may hit it and then or scrape it, and that's obviously not going to be a good situation. So once I have that on there right there, let's go ahead and turn it back on right here. And it's going to do its thing again on the control panel. Initialize. There we go. So now, obviously, we have that shorter clamp. We can't use that pattern there. So make sure if you operate it or you have somebody operate there, make sure to match the program to the clamp. So right now you can see PO2 is active on the purple screen, right? So what we want to do is go to PO1. And it'll show you 40, no, my bad. Okay, it's going to be that one. So this is actually PO3. I'm glad I checked all this. So I'm going to rewrite that for you. So PO3 is the one for your 1-inch webbing that's got a shorter box X. And then PO1, and the way I looked at that, it's the millimeters here, 40 and 27, so that's obviously 4.5-inch webbing. PO3 is going to be the one for your 1-inch webbing. So what we're going to do is, again, push that. The machine initializes again. And if you want to make sure then that you got everything right, I'll show you one trick. We're going to push lightly on the pedal, and then you're going to have an icon over there. That's like a manual jog. So what that'll let us do is put the clamp down, and then we can manually jog that clamp around and make sure that that hole, the needle hole right there, that one shows pretty much on the perimeter, because if it doesn't, we don't have this set right. So what I'll do is I'll push lightly on the pedal, and then click that icon once it goes down. I'm not going to sew, I'm just going to click lightly on it. Boom. See right there? Now it's showing us, basically showing us all the points. And then on the buttons here, you're going to have plus to go to the next point. You have minus to back it up if you need to. And that one, you'll click that one to get out of that. So I'm going to click on the plus one by one. See what it's showing me, that needle hole. So I got clearance there. And we can't really see there, but let's see. But we are clear. Okay. And then I'm going to keep jogging it. Even though we're very close, we are clear. So what I'm going to click next is this icon right here. Okay, so now that kind of puts me back where I need to be. So the blue screen is your sewing screen. Okay, and so what we'll do now is, after you push that one, okay. After you push that one, then it's going to go to the sewing screen, and let's not forget, air. We need that air line hooked back up, and I did not hook it up, so here we go. All right, air compressor did its thing again, so here we go. So basically we're ready to sew. Blue screen, tension it's set at 85 on this one. Let's go ahead and get that to 100. So pushing that, 100, enter. Okay, now it's showing pressure at 100. Speed, we have it at 1,000, which is okay, or we can knock it down to 800, like that. So, same thing, webbing all the way to the back, light push, clamp down, further push, so. Okay, there it is. Again, all the way to the back. Light push, further push. Okay, front and back. Like I said, you'll have to trim a little bit on the corners there. Actually, one corner. All right, that's pretty much it. And like I said, that one, for your 1.5 inch, that's going to be PO1, and I'm going to rebrand those for you. And basically, it'll be the same thing doing it there. When you recall that PO1, you push into PO1, and it'll set everything right. Make sure you change the clamp for it, and that's pretty much it. Oiling is going to be right here. There's a little window with 2 little holes. So you'd put your oiler, the spout, in one of those holes, and you're going to have 2 lines, minimum and maximum. So make sure that oil goes around the maximum line right there, not over it, because then it'll start leaking from those little holes. But that's pretty much it. On the threading, fairly simple. So you're going to have your cone right here. You're going to go from the back side to that eyelet. You're going to follow it to that eyelet. You're going to go right through there, and then when you get to this one, you're going to go top to bottom and then twist it top to bottom again. You're going to go around here, and that's not the thread tension. Then that one is how much thread remains after it cuts. So if you go tighter this way, it's going to cut less or leave less of a tail on there. And if you want to loosen it up, it'll be a bigger tail. That's your tension, actual tension that's controlled on the screen. And so we'll go from that disc straight down around the discs of that tensioner. You're going to go around. You're going to come up on that check spring. Let me see here. On that check spring, you're going to go around it under this bracket, come back up through this little bracket. You're going to go all the way up to the take-up lever hole, and then you're going to come on the other side, and you're going to go through that bracket there, follow that down. You're going to have a little pigtail here, go kind of twice around that, make sure it's nice and clear. And then a lot of people forget, on the needle bar itself, you're going to have a little hole right there that the thread has to go through, and then you go to the needle. And you always thread the needle from the front to the back. So front to back. All right. Over here you have your bobbin winder. So what you want to do, especially if you have like a second spool of thread, then run another spool. You're going to come through here, and I'm going to leave that on for you. You're going to run through here, come back through that same eyelet, and then go to your bobbin right here. Once you give it a few turns, you're going to have to clamp that down. Okay, clamp that down. And then as the machine sews, it'll wind a bobbin for you. When the bobbin is full, it'll kick that out, and you can pull it out, put another one on there. And then if you want to wind the bobbin just without sewing, then there is another process for that. This is where the hook and the bobbin is. So it's got a big bobbin factory set. And then when you put that in, make sure you get a click on it. You just close it up, leave about an inch or so loose on it, and then close that up. And then the bobbin thread is automatically going to be picked up by the needle. So that's not an issue there on the automatic machines. Other than that, then, like I said, I know this is kind of a long video, but I'm going to put this up for you. If you have any questions at all, call me. I don't know if I emailed you any manuals on this, but I do have fairly good manuals on it. So anyways, I'm going to put that up. You'll probably look at this in the morning. If you have any questions, give me a call. I can wait another day before I pack it up and send it to you. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to do like other videos on any particular part that you may need. Thank you.